video we'll look at the difference between tabular layout and freeform layout of a list control on a UX component. So you can see here we have a list control that's actually being populated with a SQL query from the Northwind customer table, and it's quite obviously in a list in a tabular format, and you can see that if I click on column headings, we do client-side sorting, so it's extremely quick. But if we go back to the design of the list control here and bring up the editor, we can see that in list properties here we've checked the box that says that this list control has multiple layouts, and then in the multiple layouts section we've specified that there are two layouts, so we can add as many different layouts as we want. The first layout here we've said is a freeform layout, and the second layout, which we've checked as the default layout, we've specified is a columnar layout. So if we look at the columnar layout here on the list layout, we can see that we've chosen these columns. But if we switch now to just look at the design for the freeform layout, what we see is a screen that actually shows the ability to enter any arbitrary HTML markup, and then in the markup to use placeholders for the fields that are in the query for the list data source. So if we click on insert placeholder, we can see all the different placeholders that are available to us, and we can enter arbitrary HTML over here. So you can see that we've specified that that the customer ID and company name are on the first line, and they're going to be in bold. And then we have a line break, and then we've got the contact name followed by a line break, and then we want address followed by a line break, and then city and state on a line by themselves followed by another line break. And then let's go now and change the freeform to be the default layout, and then click OK now, and then save it, and then switch over to working preview. And now we can see the same data in the list, but this time the data in the list has now been formatted as a freeform list. So in this particular case we've specified what the default layout that should be used at design time, but you can choose the layout programmatically, and in fact you can even put a control on the dialog to allow you to select the list at runtime. In a mobile application, you'll often automatically switch from one list layout to another list layout in the on orientation change event that the mobile device raises. But let's take a look at how we can programmatically change from one list layout to another list layout. So in order to change programmatically from one layout to another layout, we can go to the defined controls section over here and actually pick one of the predefined controls called a list selector. And in the list selector brings up a builder that lets you choose which list you'd like to control, because remember that there can be multiple list controls on the component. So you need to specify which particular list you're going to be talking to. So we'll go ahead there and click OK, since that's the only list, and then we'll move that to the top of the screen. And then when we go to working preview, we can see that the list selector renders as a combo box, and the choices are choices that we defined in the builder. So if we switch to columns, we see the list rendered as columns, and then if we switch to freeform, we see the list rendered as a freeform layout. It's important to note here that no AJAX callback is taking place, because the data for the list has already been sent down to the client, and we're just formatting the list in the different layout using the JavaScript methods that the list control has. And then these choices that appear here, freeform layout and columns, are just the friendly names that we defined when we defined the multiple layouts. You can see there's the friendly name for list 1 and the friendly name for list 2 we didn't define, so the default was just used as columns. So you can see now that this powerful feature of the list to have multiple layouts defined all for the same data is very easy to use. Thanks very much for watching.